like up there with the Digimon theme. I love the Shaman King
How
theme
does it
song.
go? Sing it for me. How does it go?
The badass character, the dark background story, came from a toxic family. He loves his sister, do anything for her.
Loves his sister, or does he
love
his sister?
No.
Hey everybody, I'm Whimsy, and I'm out here trying to collect all the Dragon Balls.
And I'm Namu, the love child of Yusuke Urameshi and Keiko. I don't know her last name, so I guess I'm taking my dad's last name. And we're Anime Mutuals.
Today we have a wonderful show set up for you guys. We are talking about anime, but specifically 90s anime, because at the end of the day, we're 90s anime babies. Like, I'm sorry that's dating us, you know. I'm a millennial. I'm sorry about that.
Yeah,
So,
I'm a 90s child.
so it's a very fond memory for us. We thought we should take a stroll down memory lane, talk about 90s animes, because I feel like it's such a specific genre. Like, there's something about 90s anime that's like truly of its own.
Yeah.
You feel me?
Yeah, definitely. It's something we all grew up on, and a lot of them still hold up, to be honest. And like, when you think about anime, like 9 times out of 10 you think about something that started around the same time. If it's not the 90s anime, it's like early 2000s. Like, that was peak anime in my opinion. Like, there's some great anime nowadays, but like that was peak time periods.
I know.
Like, animes existed for a long time, but it really started like blowing up in America in the 90s. It started to gain popularity because media companies like Viz Media started like bringing in and importing it. Releasing animation in the American market. It was popularized like by Pokemon and Dragon Ball Z and Sailor Moon. Like, that was sort of stuff that was on TV. You may not have known what anime was, but that was just like a cartoon for you. And
Definitely.
it was on, like, showing my age, like WB, Fox, Cartoon Network. Like, it was on regular channels, both cable and non-cable channels. Like, there was a good chance in the 90s that you got an anime at least at one time.
There used to be like an anime network. I used to be so mad because my mom never bought that channel, and I was always like, man, I wish I could be on the anime channel watching anime all day.
Yes, don't get me started.
So we asked our anime mutuals about some 90s anime, and me and Namu has some fun takes for you, so let's get it poppin'.
Yes, super excited.
So, starting off strong, what's your favorite 90s anime?
I'm basic. Dragon Ball Z. That was the first anime I've ever watched. At 4 years old, on Toonami, I was still living in New York with my father, and shut me up. In the afternoons, he would turn on Toonami, and, you know, it'd be Sailor Moon, and it'd be Mobile Suit Gundam and Dragon Ball Z, the other non-anime animes like Reboot, and for some reason like Batman Beyond was always on that like lineup and everything. But Dragon Ball Z, and I was just entranced by it. I don't know what I enjoyed more, the actual like anime or the Toonami trailers for said anime, because it got you hyped up in between commercial breaks, you know? Like, oh, whatever really happened, you know, Frieza just, you know, prolonged the next 5 minutes of destroying Namek, and here we are with another 10 episodes, but here we go with the commercial in between. I don't know, it had me so hyped for that show. I love Dragon Ball Z. I've never watched Dragon Ball Z Kai, and I know it's supposed to be cutting out all the filler, but, you know, voice actors changed, and I was like, I'm not here for it. Give me the 90s anime voices for Dragon Ball Z.
All right. Oh, I wasn't expecting that. But I guess, you know, Dragon Ball is a beloved series. Like, I'm not going to be a hater, even though I am a hater. I don't like Dragon Ball for a couple different reasons, but you know what? I didn't really like Goku as a character.
Yeah, I don't care for him either.
I loved Vegeta. That was my man. I was like...
Actually, yes. Him and Trunks were my favorite characters.
Yep.
And
100%.
Gohan, but specifically teenage Gohan, yes, but like specifically 11-year-old Gohan fighting Cell in the Cell Saga. That version of Gohan is my favorite Gohan, because I love Super Saiyan Gohan, and that whole part of the storyline is my favorite.
Nice. So who got you into like 90s anime? It was your dad, right?
It was my dad. He watched Speed Racer. when I was a kid, and that would be on TV in between like Dragon Ball Z and whatever else he put on TV for me. So I also really, really love Speed Racer.
I always watch like little memes of Speed Racer.
It's so good.
He was so crazy. The things he would say, like, it was so funny.
It's a wild show, that's for sure.
And you wouldn't think so, because was it about racing cars? That's it.
It literally it is, but then like his brother Racer X, who he doesn't know is Racer X, like his brother's been missing for years, so he has like this rival that's like trying to beat him in all the races, and it's his brother, but his brother died a long time ago, and Racer X, who is his brother, knows that that's his brother, but Speed doesn't know that's his brother. It's messy. It's messy. It's like conspiracies going on. There's people trying to kill them and stop them from getting in the race. The tracks are collapsing. Oh man, it's good. And the theme song's a bop too.
All right, so now we gotta watch Speed Racer, y'all.
Yes, please do. Everyone watch Speed Racer. And I'm not talking about the movie. I'm talking about the old, like, 60s. I don't even know the 60s.
I'm trying to think what anime I watched. It's like old. And I feel like the only one I watched was Blackjack. I don't know if you've ever seen that. That must have come out in like the 80s or prior. It was about a doctor, and he had like this little girl that would hang out with him, and he was basically, he was a doctor. He would do surgery. I don't know why I was so entranced by that, but it was super old. Yeah, that's crazy.
I think the older than that, the only one I could think of was like Astro Boy.
Oh yeah,
and that was the 60s for sure.
Well, my favorite 90s anime was I'm gonna say this because I'm gonna give me a second, because I always mispronounce it, and it's been like I mispronounce it so many different times. It's in my head. That's how I say it. It's either Ranma or Ramana. It's Ranma.
Ranma.
Okay. Ranma 1/2. I really love this series. I remember going on YouTube and watching like all the episodes. There was a lot of episodes of this. I love the romance. I loved Kane. I loved Ranma. It was a little problematic, but
Yeah.
And if you don't know, the premise is it's about Ranma, and he is engaged to Kane. They're both from dojo families, and they're supposed to be engaged, but when he rolls up, there's like a secret, and the secret is if he gets touched by water, he turns into a girl. Mm-hmm. And his daddy's a panda. I don't get into that. And so it's like all these hijinks because he turns into a girl, and why he always be like, he be shirtless, even when it's a girl, they be out.
He don't care. He's standing on business. This is my body.
And I just really love the main character, Akane, because she fought, like, she was super strong, and she was mean, and, like, I was with it. She was mean. And I liked it, I liked it. Anyways.
The person who did Rama, was it the same mangaka for Inuyasha?
Yes, it was. Okay. You're right. She really got those hits. She got them hits.
We're not going to talk about Yashahime, though.
No. The one thing I didn't like about this anime is it turned into like a harem. Like there's these girls coming out of nowhere saying they loved him, and I was like, anyways, and it made me so mad. I stopped watching.
I don't like harems. Do you like harems?
Only if it's a girl with boys.
Reverse harem, yeah. Those are good. No,
those are good.
Yeah, normal.
You know why?
Harems,
Because a reverse harem, I could see why they like the girl. She's kind, she's considerate, she's cute. But boy harems, they're like monsters. They're gremlins. They're jobless, ugly,
messy,
weird,
my God, problematic.
And they still got these girls. It's just unrealistic.
Yeah, like, you telling me this guy here is what you're looking? No.
And he was so bitter too. You know what it was? They were both two tsunderes, which I thought was very interesting. Like they both were like so mad at each other that they liked each other. It was really cute. Anyways, you got to check it out. This surprised me because I've heard of it, but I don't think I've ever seen it. And Outlaw Star, because it was one of the first series that really clicked with me that wasn't mainstream.
I've never watched Outlaw Star, but I know of it because I'm pretty sure. Don't quote me on this. If I'm wrong, don't. hate me or cancel me or anything. I'm pretty sure the person who did this also did Galaxy Railways, which is another old school anime, which, if that is the same person, then that person also did the music video for One More Time by Daft Punk. That's how I
fact checked it.
Oh God, no, don't. Don't. Outlaw Stars, though, I remember it being on, if it wasn't Toonami, I was gonna say Adult Swim, but Adult Swim didn't start until the very, very early 2000s. So it had to be Toonami. I vaguely remember. I never watched it though, but you can always tell an anime from like what decade it is based off of the art style.
You definitely can.
Yeah.
Look how narrow their heads are, how big their eyes are. They look
the big eyes is always
busted.
the getaway. The way that the hairstyle, the eyes, it's
and their bodies were so unproportionate. Like they were like
was.
heads were like this small and their bodies were like solid.
Mm-hmm.
This Annie Mutual said, Cowboy Bebop. It was the first anime I saw that was dark, didn't have a lot of over-the-top chibi expressions, and unique, interesting characters with these complex backstories, plus the music.
Absolutely. Cowboy Bebop, top tier. I always say, if you're trying to get into anime, and if it's not through Studio Ghibli movies, Cowboy Bebop is a great introductory anime. It's all animation, but it doesn't feel like an anime. The music, the jazz, the storytelling, the characters, their backstories, the development. It's a really great anime. And then the movie's also really good too.
So I'm not really into Cowboy Bebop. I don't know what it is.
I'm a leave now. This is over.
No, don't get me wrong. I liked it. Like, you remember the theme song. Like, I remember late night listening to the theme song. And I remember always watching it. I loved Ed. I remember, oh my God, the episode with Faye and her past. I don't know, that episode haunts me. Like, I remember it.
Lives rent-free in my brain.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
But like, I feel like the concept where like they were doing adventures each time I didn't really care for. I just like the characters. So like I kept watching. But I can see why that was someone's favorite.
So our next question to our Animutuals was, who was your favorite 90s anime character?
Ooh,
so tell me, Whimsy,
hard.
Who was yours?
Oh, yes, you're right. My favorite 90s. I was like, yeah, you're right.
Absolutely.
Hiei from Yu
Absolutely. Absolutely.
He did something to me. I loved him.
Short Kings. That's a Short King right there.
He was mean. I just love emo boys. Like, I just gravitate towards that. I thought he was an interesting character. I thought he was super strong, super cool. His, like, arm dragon thing, insane. His relationship with his sister, tears. He loves his sister so much. And, like, you know, gotta respect that. Like, I feel like that's such a wonderful trait to have. And he loved his mom, too. I love Hiei. And I know, like, there was, like, all this beef between him and Yusuke and Kuwabara. But it's
all love at the end of the day.
Yeah, exactly. He talked his shit, and he could back it up.
Mm-hmm. Almost everyone in Yu Yu Hakusho
that is true.
did that. But no, Hiei was my favorite character as well. Kurama was a close second, but I don't know, something about Hiei, the Short King, his voice actor, it's just his strength and powers, him fighting in the dark tournament, like all that, everything about this man here is great. I completely agree.
I know, this is like a glazing contest for Hiei. I love him so. All right, so what did you think, Namu?
I had to pull up every like network that I watch anime on and pull up all the animes to figure out what was actually classified as 90s. And
it was hard.
I actually had to look at the dates. I was like, okay, well, technically the manga debuted in the 80s or something like that. And Shaman King was one of them that was kind of like the tail end of 90s. I watched Shaman King on 4Kids every Saturday morning. So probably one of the best like Americanized anime openings for an anime, in my opinion, is like up there with the Digimon theme. I love the Shaman King
How
theme
does it
song.
go? Sing it for me. How does it go?
I was about to sing the Digimon season 4 opening. Nope, I'm not singing today. I cannot remember. It's been so long. Unfortunately, this anime got a remake.
Yes, I think I've seen a couple episodes of the remake.
I don't like the art style per se, and I don't care for some of the character, the English voice actors for some of them. But it follows the manga a lot more This was
Okay.
I had the 4 kids treatment, so names were changed, stuff was taken out, and it was
Oh, so
very.
instead of like Sosuke, his name was like Peter. Is that?
So this character's name was in the original. I read the manga in Shonen Jump every week.
Wow.
So I have Shaman King manga. I read the manga before I watched the anime. It was like, oh wait, this is what I've been reading. But his name in the anime is Ren, Ren, Tao Ren. But in the 4 kids version, it's Len. Len, and
Oh, it's the LR thing.
yeah, there's another character named Horo, but in the 4 kids version, his name is Trey. I don't know how they got to that. The main antagonist, his name is oh man, I cannot remember the main antagonist's name, but in America, his name was Zeke. Like, makes no sense. They had the most basic American names, but I loved Ren so much. He was kind of like Hiei. He was the badass character. The dark background story, came from a toxic family. He loves his sister, do anything for her.
Do you mean he loves his sister, or does he
no
love his sister?
no. He adores his sister, but like in a sisterly manner.
Okay.
He is the main character, Asakura, his rival. He's like stronger than Yo when this first introduced. He beats the crap out of the main character. So he's like already like established badass, and of course he becomes the rivalry friends with the main character and becomes part of his like main group. So it's like very like Yu Yu Hakusho with the whole Hiei situation with Yusuke. Great character and great character development. So he's always one of my favorite. I had the biggest crush on him when I was a kid.
I could tell you stand that show because you were so like, I know. It's so
I
cute.
love Shaman King so much. OG 90s, early 2000s Shaman King.
I feel like when people be talking about their favorite anime, I'd be falling in love because I'm like, they're so passionate about it. Oh my god.
I highly suggest it. So we asked our animutuals who were their favorite 90s anime character, and someone said I had a big crush on Kurama from Yu Yu Hakusho. He was so smooth and I love redheads. Absolutely.
I
Top
wasn't
tier.
feeling him.
Wow.
Maybe I don't like redheads, actually.
You know, disappointed but not surprised.
I like his Yoko form. I think that was.
He was smooth when he in the dark tournament when he like transforms into his like real self, and he got the vine whip and he's like fighting and all that stuff. It's like he's such a cool dreamy character. He is smooth,
and I love that he's like canonically like the most wicked character like out of that group. Like he's like the most heartless. People are scared of him, and it's so funny because he's with his little rose
and pretty face, the most evil of the 4 main characters.
Yeah, and I love that. That's really funny. Let's see.
So we asked another animutual who their favorite 90s anime character was, and it was Gene Starwind, because he's a man working out his past to become an outlaw with a name. So this goes back to Outlaw Star.
This person wants us to. Some people want us to watch Outlaw Star. I think that's what this is turning into.
Man, is it on Crunchyroll? Because I mean, I'll add it to my list. I know it's a classic, and I know it's a good like classic 90s anime. I think it's. Nope, never mind. Let me shut up.
I'm getting distracted.
I think is it mecha related? But no, it can't be. I don't think it's a mecha anime.
I have no clue. I'm kind of distracted by how tiny his waist is right here. Like I don't know what. Look at that.
That waist is small. Oh my goodness.
That's crazy. I like how I was...
wrap your whole arm around. That's the baby girl waist right there.
That's too funny. I feel like outlaw things, like, I feel like in the 90s, what was really popular was space-themed anime.
Yes.
They were, like always in space. There was always, like, spaceships. They were always outlaws for some reason.
Mm-hmm. There's, like, 20 million Gundam, Mobile Suit Gundam, Gundam Wing, Gundam Zero, mecha space battles.
Yep.
You don't get them too much now. Nowadays, it's all isekais.
Yeah, pretty much. So it says, what 90s anime you had no business watching, but you did anyways? I'm already scared.
Well, it's not like it was bad, but
It was bad. This is bad. It was bad. I remember that show.
Crayon Shin-chan. This came on Adult Swim. I think by the time I watched it, it's probably in the 2000s, but technically it was a 90s anime. Crayon Shin-chan was on Adult Swim, so that should already tell you what kind of show it is. But between the cussing, the toxicity, and the nakedness of the show, I always had to keep turning over my shoulder to make sure my mother wasn't walking into my room when I watched this. The show was funny. It was hilarious.
It's very funny.
I should not have been watching this at like 8 years old.
100%. It is so bad.
If
bad.
Shin-chan isn't cussing out his mother, or his dad, or his sister, or like the neighbor, he's taking off his pants, showing everything. I'm like, as a kid, I'm not like, I'm like, oh, okay, whatever, ha ha ha, funny. But nowadays, I'm like, this is inappropriate. Why am I watching this show? But the ending song was legit about.
Yes, I loved it. You know what character I loved? His friend, that girl that he went to school with that had that bunny that he would like abuse, and the bunny had a voice.
Yes, he would beat the crap out of the
And she would say the most outlandish things. Like, it was like, oh
my God.
I saw my mommy having an affair. I was like, oh my God.
This show's like up there with like, have you ever seen Ghost Stories?
I've heard about like the dub. That's the one with like the infamous dub.
Yeah, like it's up there. Like the dub is out of pocket for this show. Like it's hilarious, but I definitely at a young age should not have been watching Crayon Shin-chan.
And I have to say, people love this show still. I feel like I remember this show coming out with new seasons. Like when I go to like stores, they sell Shin-chan merch.
Yeah, like he's like a mascot. Like he's up there with like Doraemon and like the Yokai Watch characters. Like Japan loves them some Shin-chan.
I feel like, is he like the equivalent to like their like Family Guy? Is this like their?
I think so. I think he's
their
like
dirty
that.
humor show.
Family Guy, American Dad, Simpsons, like something like that.
I chose this show. It's called Bastard.
I don't think I've heard of this.
I can't even tell you guys how crazy this is. Like I'm like having flashbacks here. I would tell you there was a lot of nudity in this series. He was always doing bad things with girls against their will.
Oh my gosh.
He like had to like kiss them. Like he had to like be with a girl that was a virgin to get his powers. And
well,
just,
I mean, it's called Bastard for a reason, I guess.
And he was so crazy. And like it was like he would, oh my God, the plotline's so crazy. Like he starts off as this nice character, and then when like he like switches to like this character, he's like he scares me. He's like ripping off clothes. It was ew.
I've never heard of this anime.
It had a
before.
remake too on
wow.
Netflix too. Let me see. There was something crazy about it. Don't watch this.
The moral of the story is no Bastard and no Crayon Shin-chan for children.
Yep, let's see what else people were not about. So one of our anime mutuals said, I wasn't allowed to watch MTV unless we were watching Speed Racer. Oh my God, Namu, this is you. But we would sneak it, and Aeon Flux was on there. I distinctly remember a blonde character doing some wild things to this chained up man while Aeon was fighting. My mom would have had a heart attack if she knew.
Oh my goodness. I've never watched Aeon Flux. I know they turned it into like a live action movie. And I just know the iconic fly flying into her eye, like in the picture, the fly in her eyelash. I never watched it. My mom said she watched it and she loved Aeon Flux, which is wild because she doesn't watch anime.
Really?
But I know absolutely. I know she's like some sort of like, I don't think she's human exactly. I'm not even gonna pretend to know what Aeon Flux is about. I know it's a classic though.
I'm not really into like sci-fi, scary stuff, psychological. I already have enough psychological problems.
Golden Boy. This show was nasty.
You should
I
go to
had
jail.
no business watching.
You should go to jail.
Goodness.
This is your favorite anime? You need to go to an institution.
I never watched Golden Boy, but I think I've seen like memes of it. Like, is there a scene where he's like swimming in a pool? And he's
yes,
like,
that is him. And he's
Okay,
swimming.
Yeah, I've seen like cutscenes and memes and stuff like that, but I never actually watched Golden Boy.
If you see Golden, I've seen it. I've seen all of it. You know what? My sister told me to watch this. She's only a couple years older than me. She was like, I watched this show, and I was like, okay. It was the most. It's about. I don't even remember his name, but he's riding his bike around. Like, he's just living his life, doing odd jobs, and he always run into, like, these women, and, like, he always get into these predicaments with different women every episode. And, like, if you see every, like the most infamous things, like the swimming scene where he's swimming, I don't even know I don't want to explain it. That's so bad.
It's everything I've heard about the show is against my will.
And he, like, swims into her. There's another scene where this girl spits at him, and when she spits at him, he goes, like, to catch her spit. It was nasty.
Oh my god, I kind of actually want to sit down right now to watch it and just see the ridiculously of it. I wonder if it holds up.
You should. I think it would be so funny, but you need to be on a watch if you like FBI watch if you're enjoying this.
Turn all the lights on. Make sure no one's watching me from behind.
100% because.
So our next question for our animators was, what is a 90s anime you hate? So Whimsy, tell me about yours.
I hate Tenchi Muyo.
I agree.
It's exactly what I hate. Didn't I say this before? I hate harems. I hate them with
There's
the
also
passion.
like 20 million Tenchi Muyos.
I hate it. Like, I don't like the main character. The girls, there was no reason for them to be fighting that hard over this man. Like, I knew there was like a plot reason. There was a plot related reason why. I can't remember. I feel like is this the one where he like... No, I don't think it's this.
Tenchi Muyo, like Tenchi in Tokyo, Tenchi Universe. And then there's like...
It's where they have to find a husband, right? Is that the
I want to say that's the Tokyo one.
Okay. That's the one I saw. And I didn't like it. I didn't like the characters. I didn't like how they liked him. And they was fighting over him. He didn't deserve it. And for some reason, there's always like a little girl. Like, you know how they have like tropes? There's always like a little girl. And it always makes it weird.
Yeah.
Even though she's like, oh no, she's like 75. But she just looks like she's 7.
I hate that so much. No. That's not a 75-year-old.
It was annoying. I loved the girl that was tan, though. She was cute.
Yeah, another early representation. No, I didn't like Tenchi Muyo either, and there was so many, but...
Sorry. I was so flabbergasted at Namu's pick.
Okay, so I don't actually hate. I don't like... Yeah, no, I don't hate Case Closed. It's just... When I had to, like, look up all the 90s anime I watched, I was like, oh, well, this is probably, like, the least favorite, I guess, or whatever. But it's just... He's so smart. He's so smart, and he's still a kid, and it's been like 500 years. Why is he still a kid? That's my only complaint. Case Closed is good. I used to watch it every morning. My mom would do my hair before the school bus came to pick me up, and I never saw a single conclusion to a single episode because the school bus came before the show was over. Aww. So, the mornings, Adult Swim is still on. Case Closed was part of Adult Swim lineup, and we be into it too. Like, oh man, who's the killer in this episode, or who, is he gonna catch you did such and such? And then I had to go to school. So I don't know how Case Closed ever ended. But it's just been 20 years and he's still a kid. I guess he ain't that smart. That's just what annoys me. Like, there's been like, I don't know, like 1,000, I think it's over 1,000 episodes and like 20 movies. Why are we still going through this? Please, wrap it up now.
I'd be feeling bad because the main character girl, she waiting for her man to come home.
She don't even know.
She ain't even know that's him.
Hanging out with this. No, really. She hanging out with this. Oh God, I'm getting upset thinking about it.
I'm surprised you hate this. I feel like, I don't know. People love Case Closed. Obviously, it has like 1,000 episodes. Like, it's like probably.
Like I said, I don't hate it. It's just annoying.
Yeah. That's true. If like I had a lineup, I probably wouldn't choose Case Closed in the room and be like, yeah, that's what I want to watch.
No, really.
What 90s anime would you want to live in? Now, this one had me pondering. And I chose Pokemon. I feel like that was the best answer.
Yeah, yeah.
Who wouldn't want to live in Pokemon? Like, I probably
To
wouldn't want to
be
be
honest.
Ash's friends because then I have to save the world like every movie. But if I was just like any kind of character in the series, I feel like I would have enjoyed it. I would have had fun. I would have been out there. My mom would let me leave the house at 10. How old did he leave? 10 years old?
10, yeah. He's been 10 for 20 years. Like,
So
would you want to be a regular, like, Pokemon trainer, or did you want to be, like, a gym leader, or did you want to be, like, a Pokemon championship winner?
No one has ever asked me these questions. Like, I have to think of them. I don't think I would be a gym leader because I can't choose a type. That's my problem with Pokemon is that, like...
Well, I mean, see, you can have any type you want.
I love fairy and dark types. Those
Okay.
are my two favorite, like, split down the middle. I think I would just be a regular... I don't even think I would be a trainer. I think I would just, like, have Pokemon and, like, hang out, like, go about my business.
You just be, like, a regular NPC.
Yeah.
Like, okay.
I don't really want to get these, I don't want to face gym leaders, really. Maybe I'll be a Pokemon, what was it? What did Brock want to be, a Pokemon breeder?
Pokemon breeder, yeah.
And I don't even know what that entailed, because breeding has multiple...
I think I would just be a random Pokemon NPC person too. I got mine. I would go for dragon and water types and just mind my business, make my way do Kanto.
I feel like you have to be a certain type of person who's like, yeah, I'll be in Pokemon and I'm going to be the greatest. I'm going to be the Pokemon master. Like, no, you won't. You're not Ash. Let's be real here. You can't beat him. So what world did you want to live in, Namu? Oh.
So I said Cowboy Bebop because I don't want to be part of a Specs gang. I'm not trying to be an outlaw or anything, but just the thought of like space travel. I love everything about space. And the thought of being able to travel between the planets and just having your own spaceship and all that stuff, I just think that's cool.
I hate
That's
space.
all. All right, so
I hate space.
this is where we
hate
end this
space.
podcast, and we're no
hate
Anime
things in
Mutuals is
space.
disbanding today.
I hate sci-fi. Well, but my thing is, there was like some, like, I remember Cowboy Bebop. Like, they were like all these outlaws, but like, society wasn't doing great, if I remember.
Earth definitely was not doing great. That's why a lot of space traveling is happening. Like, Earth was bad. Earth was in bad shape.
Well, that's
I
about
think
to happen.
Spike is from Mars. If I remember correctly, he was born and raised on Mars. That's all I remember.
There was another series where people were born on
Faye's
different
from Earth.
planets. Oh, really?
Faye was from Earth, but that's
Yes,
then
yes.
she loses all that. She gets into the accident and everything.
Yes. Well, that's very intriguing. So would if they asked to join their little ragtag group, would you say yes?
Heck, City, yeah.
Oh, my
absolutely.
goodness. You about to die. You need to.
You only live once, and I'd rather it be in outer space, So one of our Animutuals said, Pokemon, they want an Eevee. Specifically an Eevee.
Okay. Same. I want to hear you too.
Okay, but base Eevee or like which evolution?
They didn't say. Oh, me personally.
Yes, you.
That's hard because I always catch all of the EVs and I always evolve them. Every Pokemon game I do, I always do that because it's like my post-game kind of thing that I like to do. Early on, my favorite, and this is gonna be a little weird, because people are disgusting, but I love Vaporeon. I love Vaporeon. That was my favorite.
That's the water one, right?
Yeah, the water one. And I loved her. Past that, I think after that, I just really liked... I loved Espeon and Umbreon. I think they were, like, super dope. Like, they were super cool.
Those are good ones.
I thought I would like Sylveon, but I didn't really like them
I'm not the
much.
biggest fan of Eevee and evolutions. But if I had to choose one, I always really, really like Leafeon. I'm not a grass type person at all, but I love the color scheme. That one and... What's the one that's, like, pink, blue, and like white. That's kind of like the trans colors. What is that one?
Is that not Sylveon? I think
I
it is.
don't know. I do not know the names.
I'm pretty sure it
that
is.
one. Both those two, I really, really like. I like their designs.
So, like, wait. I said what type of Pokemon trainer I would be. What kind of Pokemon you like? You said not grass.
Water and dragon is what I'd be, and I would be a regular NPC as well. Just living my best life. I don't know. I might like live in like some sort of one of the towns that's like on the coast where all the water is and all the trainers in the water. I would be like in one of those towns or whatever.
You know what's crazy? I would live here, but like I don't think there's any like current anime, like new gen anime that I would want to live in that world. I don't want to live in Attack on Titan.
I would die in everything.
Yes.
Currently.
Currently. I don't want to live in JJK. The curses be coming and getting people, snatching people out their beds.
Like, sometimes I'm like, I wouldn't mind being in My Hero Academia world and have a quirk, but then I remember that there's someone's quirk where their face is a spray bottle, and that could be me, and I don't want that kind of life, honestly.
Or you have a power where you disintegrate people like Shigaraki.
Oh, like God, no, that's just...
Or you have a regular power or a good power, and you have to go to school to be a child soldier.
It just gets worse and worse and worse. I don't want to be a hero. I don't got time for that.
Nah, I'm minding my business. I'm an NPC. Get these people away from me. I would be like, I would want to be quirkless, and I would be discriminating against people with quirks. I'd be like,
God,
you have a quirk, get away from me. Don't touch me.
I'm like that.
You know what? That's what Deku should have done, because they were discriminating against him. He should have been out here like, oh, y'all are freaks.
Absolutely. He should have been especially towards Bakugo. Like, ew, you're sweating and your sweat turns into explosions? That's nasty.
Yeah, exactly. That's nasty. Just like that. Oh my god, Bakugo would have just like ripped his face off. Like,
no, he would not have made it into UA. Someone else said that the anime that they would like to live in is Slam Dunk. It's the safest bet, and that goes along with what we were just saying. Like, you'll live.
I don't know. Imagine a nigga dunk on you so hard that you don't want in front of your families and loved ones.
Well, no, you end your whole career immediately. Yeah, I don't like sports and normal sports, so I don't want to watch that in my anime. I'm watching anime to escape from real life. I don't need more of that.
The only sports anime that like I stan is Yuki on Ice, but that's because they my OTPs.
No, they never coming back.
Please, I can't believe that. That was shady. What 90s anime deserves a remake? Ooh, drum roll. Go ahead.
I had to think really, really hard on this one, and I was like, okay, what ones haven't been remade yet? I was like, okay, well, they remade Trigun and they've done Rurouni Kenshin, and I was like, okay, what's a good anime who deserves? And I was like, Neon Genesis, because everyone hated the ending, and then the movie that came out afterwards was also terrible. It deserves a good remake, as long as they keep the theme song.
Like, was it terrible, or was it just like messy?
It was just I wouldn't say it's terrible. I guess people were just like not satisfied, basically.
I've never watched the series in its fullness. I've never like looked into deeply about what it's about. I really still don't understand the plot line, but it was the characters that got me. Like, I was like,
I only watched it once in its entirety. It's just the theme song, the ending song really just like lives rent free in my brain. I love it. It's a good anime. I think everyone at one point in time should give it a chance. I think it deserves a remake though. Like, with today's like art styles and graphics and better English voice actors, like, this could be a really, really good mecha anime.
I liked Shinji's voice actor in the original. It was funny. So the anime that I thought deserved a remake was Serial Experiments Lain.
Ooh, that's a very underrated anime.
I agree. It scares me. It's about this girl named Lain and basically her life getting engulfed by technology, and like, especially with like how technology is nowadays with like AI, like I feel like, and even like how good it would look. Like, it was a very like psychological, it was very like, I don't know, jarring, some scenes. It was really spooky, but like in a way that was like technologically spooky. It was like technological horror. That's what I would call it. And it was very intriguing, and I think they would give it justice. I feel like it deserves a remake.
How did you watch the show? Like, on what channel did you watch it?
I don't remember. Oh, no. It has to be, why do I feel like I watched it on Funimation? But I could be wrong. I feel like I watched it on a channel, but I don't think I watched it on Cartoon Network. Like, I don't think it was Toonami.
I never, like, actually like watch the show, but I always remember it being on. And it used to. This also shows age. G4 TV, G4 Tech TV doesn't exist anymore. But like around the midnight, G4 Tech TV would always switch from like all of its gaming content to like Anime Unleashed at night, and there was like 10 different like animes, like Last Exile, Gen Shaft.
Never heard of none of those.
No, they're like really
Niche.
Underrated. No, they're not even on Crunchyroll type of animes. Probably can't even like find it on like Amazon Prime or Hulu or anything. And this was one of the shows that was on there, and I always remember like the name and the art style and everything, but never watched it. So anytime anyone were just talking about it, I was like, oh.
And I actually rewatched it. So like I watched a couple episodes randomly, and then I rewatched it. I would say like maybe like 8 years ago, and then I got it, and then I was like, oh, this is scary. Like, this is scary. And, like, the dub was so good. Like, the way it laid. Like, I can't even recreate this, like, the sound of, like, the narrator voice. It was so good. So good. I think it would do good. I think people would love it.
Get someone like I don't know, Studio Mappa to work on that.
Yes, exactly. Metabots, it needs more love. It needs more love because I've never seen it, so maybe we need to show some love.
Metabots used to come on Saturday mornings on 4Kids, and sometimes early in the morning, like before school buses would come pick up kids, because I remember it being like early morning Fox as well. I don't have much memories of Metabots, but I have seen a few episodes and I remember liking it. It's definitely a really cute, like, child-friendly mecha anime. Is like, it's kid-friendly mecha.
Exactly. It's exactly what it is. Like, it literally is like, exactly. I have to say, Namu, your memory is immaculate. You're like, on Wednesday in 1999 at 7:30 a.m. on G4 TV, 4Kids TV, this anime aired, and I know that because the wind was blowing and my hair was done.
Going to block you.
I'm like, I don't remember like that. No, I wish I had that memory.
Oh my god. But you can't, don't ask me about what I had for dinner yesterday. I can't tell you that.
Crazy.
I know people hated the live action Cowboy Bebop. I loved it. But I would love to see how Jet moved on after Spike's death. I could see him putting together a new crew and trying to get over losing his best friend. Absolutely. I think the live action was good. People were too hard on it. They didn't give it a chance. But we're also in this weird, annoying phase where if a show doesn't do well enough within like the first weekend that it debuts, it gets canceled. Yeah. And I felt like they did not give Cowboy Bebop a chance. We should have at least had a second season, and by then, if it didn't do good, then cut it. But like, you know, we see that we can have successful live actions. Look at One Piece. Look at Sonic the Hedgehog franchise. Look at we're about to get Avatar: The Last Airbender season 2 and 3. Like, we can, like, they should have given this the same treatment and chance. And I stand by that.
Okay. I don't think I watched the live action. Again, I told you I wasn't like
you and Spy-Fi and space.
I do have to say, which is so funny, because when the person who said this, I was like, what are you talking about? Spike didn't die. Like, in my head, I'm like, Spike didn't die. Like, in my head, when he falls in that last scene, his friends come and get him. And it was ambiguous. It was ambiguous in my opinion.
It was kind of open-ended.
Like, you could assume it, but you don't know for certain, you know? So I always thought, like,
I would say, like, if you don't actually see them take their last breath on screen, they're still alive.
Not even, like, they'll come back too. They have to be, like, decapitated if that's the only chance.
Right.
Then you know they're done.
What 90s anime does not need a remake?
Ranma 1.5. And I loved it, but I don't think I feel like with anime like that one, it just won't hit like it did, like when it came out. And the art style is just so different. I feel like you take away such, like, like that's 90s animes. The way that it looks is so important. And I haven't seen anyone like remake a 90s anime and keep like not even keep the art style, like just keep the essence of it, you know?
Did they keep like the same storyline? Did they change anything
I think
major?
it's the same thing. I think it hasn't come out yet. I think maybe the first episode came out. But from what I look at it, it's the same. They just look a little
Sometimes
wonkier.
the updated art styles that we see nowadays just don't, like you said, like hit. There's another anime. It's not a 90s anime, but The Devil's a Part-Timer is like probably like my favorite anime of all time. Slice of life, reverse isekai, slash shonen. And season 1, I love season 1. Season 1 came out like probably like mid like 2010s or whatever, like around 2015 or so. And I watched the heck out of it. It's a hilarious show. They finally brought it back like after 5+ years for season 2. And even though all the voice actors return, the art style is so much different. Like, it looks like regular anime nowadays. And even though the season 1, it's not that old, so it still has that same updated, modern look to anime. This one, they really, like, the characters, some of their hair colors have changed. It's not as detailed anymore. I hate it. I was like, I watched maybe 5 episodes. I was like, I can't. It's not my Devil's a Part-Timer.
That's not me. That's not what I want.
No.
Yeah, so I definitely feel like when anime gets like remade, it should only be remade really if one, the series wasn't finished, like Fruit Baskets, like okay, like they finished it and it was beautiful, or like the animation that they needed to portray the story just wasn't available at that time. Like yeah, that deserves a remake. Like they have the technology to now like do the things that like would make it look cool. But if it's just basic, like, what's the point here, you know?
Yeah.
So what anime...
Especially if it still holds up.
Yeah, exactly. So what 90s anime does not need a remake, Namu?
I said Rurouni Kenshin. And this is not... I love Rurouni Kenshin.
I do, too.
I do think it deserves to have a better retelling. But the only reason why I say it does not need a remake is only because of the mangaka. That man is a pedophile. And he does not deserve any sort of credit, money, or whatever going to him with this remake. I'm not sure what he does get, if anything at all, but, like, that man's a pedophile. He should not, his work, unfortunately, should not be readily available nor remade in today's day and age.
I agree. I did watch, like, the first episode to see if it hit, and it didn't. And I was just like, you know what? I'm just going to take a step back. Because, again, he didn't really deserve that remake. And they were fugly. Look at them. They're fugly. They look
Another
ugly.
clear example of 90s anime that's really, like, unique style to what anime looks like nowadays.
Pokemon, it's fine as it is, says one Annie Mutual. Is it not, like, every season pretty much a remake?
It is. Like, okay, at what point do you say no? We've had, you know... red and green, blue. I don't know what the original was. And then we had X and Y. We had black and white. Sun and moon. Diamond and Pearl is when I stopped watching the anime. Anything post Diamond and Pearl, I can't keep up with.
I think I dropped it way before that.
Diamond and Pearl had a great anime rap opening. That's all I remember.
Yo, these like black people.
I don't know, something about the Diamond and Pearl theme song. It was lit. I was like, yes, this is what I want I think I was like 16 at the time. I was like, this is what I need in life.
I guess like
rapping.
I don't need to see Ash again. Like I don't need to see Ash and Pikachu, even though they still like continue the series and they're in different places. But I don't need to see their origin story again. Like
he's won the championships. Like, what more do we need from Ash?
yeah, his story's done, and that made me cry because it was like posted on the internet, like when he won and he became like the Pokemon champion. Like that did something for me. Like I was like, that's Ash. I was rooting for you. Like I was rooting for you.
So someone else said that an anime that does not need a remake. I'm sorry, I still can't give it the Sailor Crystal art. They need a remake with the old art, and I feel that heavily. I have not watched Sailor Moon Crystal. strictly because I'm a 90's Sailor Moon with the bad, well, it's not bad, but like, you know, the funny English dubbing, you know, Sailor Moon with the thick accent, like Jersey accent or whatever, you know, everyone with the English names, you know, she's Serena, she's not Usagi for me. It doesn't matter if they have the Japanese names, but I think OG Sailor Moon is the more superior version of Sailor Moon.
I agree, and I watched it just because I love Sailor Moon. Like, I love that show. And I tried, like, I watched the Sailor Crystal movie, but I just can't. Like,
if we can
their legs are too long, their eyes are too big.
If we can get Sailor Moon, Sailor Crystal to be in the art style of OG Sailor Moon, but with, you know, all of the story, that was left out of the original, if that could be there, that'd be great.
You know what Sailor Moon needs? It needs like let's watch Chibi Moon's story. Like, let's, like, in the same, like, world. Like, I feel like it's such a, like, a great world, like, world building with all the Sailor Scouts. Like, we could watch, like, a series about not them, like another group of Sailor Scouts. Like, you know.
Yeah, it could be, you know, maybe the next generation, like, after,
that's true,
you know, everything's said and done. Sailor Moon 2.0.
Yeah.
Our next thing is we're going to describe anime poorly, 90s anime. We take some 90s anime synopsis and put it into our own words, and we're hoping the other can guess the anime properly.
Ooh. All right, let's see. I try to make it mine as, like, vague and as, like, you know, like, I tried.
I tried to, too.
All right, go ahead.
So the first one, pacifistic cowboy suffering from amnesia wants to kill his brother.
Ooh. You know what? I was going to say Cowboy Bebop. Is it No, it's not. Is it not Trigun?
It is Trigun.
Because I was like, yeah, that's when I remember he was trying to kill his brother.
He is technically a cowboy. He's in the Western setting, and he has the bounty on his head, and he got amnesia.
That is crazy. You caught me off guard with that one. I forget. Yeah, that was the Wild Wild West.
Mm-hmm.
So ex-thug enters his redemption arc era.
Please tell me that's Yu Yu Hakusho.
It is Yu Yu Hakusho. Yes.
Yes. He is an ex-thug, and it is redemption arc, coming back to life. You know, gotta be good. Gotta be the good little ghost hunter.
Exactly. Why do I feel like it could be another anime, but okay, let's see the next one. Oh.
So, local homeless man can't choose between his ex and his new side chick.
Homeless. That's what's catching me off guard. I'm gonna say Tenchi Miyo.
No.
What is it? I don't know.
Inuyasha.
Oh.
He can't choose between Kikyo and Kagome. And
why you gotta do him
home.
like that? Why are you doing him like that?
I guess the tree is his home, so maybe he's not exactly homeless, but
you know what? If I zoned into that part, I would have been like, yeah, that's Inuyasha. He's trifling ass, like, yeah. All right, the next one I have is a girl who has way too much screen time that it causes brain rot.
Too much screen time. Is this an anime I've watched?
Not like you've seen it, but I don't think you've watched it in its entirety.
Oh gosh. Trying to think of 90s anime. Is the girl a main character?
Yes. I'll give you a hint. The hint is I mentioned it in this episode.
Is it Ranma? No. Wait. No. It's not Sailor Moon. That's too obvious. I don't know.
It was Serial Experiment Lane.
Oh. See, yeah, I've not seen that.
Yeah, that's pretty much the premise. Like, that's exactly what happened.
Oh, way too much screen time. Okay, I get it.
See?
I get it. The screen time part. Okay, that makes sense. Alright, we didn't talk about this anime, so good luck on guessing this one.
I think I know it.
Terrorist declares war against the government?
One Piece.
Yes, technically One Piece is a 90s anime, technically, woo!
And I knew that when I was like, I only know one crazy mo that declared war against the government, and it was Luffy.
Yes, and people will be like, oh no, they're not terrorists. Well, you know, when you fight the government, that makes you a terrorist.
And just because you're a terrorist doesn't mean you're bad.
And he's also a pirate, which is also
bad.
Yeah, you're already a criminal.
Yeah, so much fun. I think this might be one of my last ones. And it says, unsupervised children who befriends freaks of nature.
Freaks of nature. For some reason, I'd never seen it, but just Promised Neverland popped up in my head first. And I know it's not 90s, but I just saw unsupervised children.
And that's what you think about. I feel like they were hyper supervised.
Okay, is this an anime we talked about today?
No. Which is surprising.
Who befriends freaks of nature.
I don't even know. Maybe it wasn't even a 90s anime. Maybe it was early 2000. I think it was in the 90s.
I don't know. What is this?
Okay, so this was my attempt of explaining Digimon. Okay. And I was trying to
this one is 90s. I'm pretty sure Digimon is 90s.
I was a bit tricky. I was like, oh, maybe you can think that it's like Pokemon, but like...
They are unsupervised children because they go to camp. There's no adults at that camp, and they get sent to the digital world. You know what? Yeah. Yes.
Exactly.
Absolutely. I see it now. It makes sense. So, thank you so much for watching another episode of Anime Mutuals, where we talk about how much the 90s anime is peak and better than your current gen anime. So make sure to check us out on all platforms for podcast related stuff like Spotify and Deezer. And
if you want to see more of the Anime Mutuals, don't forget to go on YouTube and go to BlackGirlGamers and subscribe and check us out.
Bye!
Bye!